Story time. When I was in college, 18 years old at Spelman College, y'all, I moved down here from the Bronx, and being from the Bronx, nobody drives. Nobody has a driver's license. Everybody gets on the train or the bus. And so vehicles and driving was like all new and exciting for me. And this was the summer of after my freshman year, my older sister came down with all of her kids to a Christian youth conference. And we were all at the Georgia Dome, like just having a good time. And one of my nieces, was really, really cold. It was freezing inside the Georgia Dome. My sister assumed, since I had been living in the South, that I knew how to drive. So she goes, "Hey, can you run back to your apartment and go get, I don't want to say my niece's name, go get her jacket." So I'm sitting there like, now I'm 18, so I'm still stupid. Frontal lobe is not developed. I didn't have the courage to tell my sister, I can't drive. I don't have a driver. I mean, I knew how to, I knew how to drive, but I didn't have a driver's license. But I use this as an opportunity. Oh, you want me to go back to the house and get something and drive? No problem. I lived right down the street from the Georgia Dome. I was like, yes, this is an opportunity for me to get behind the wheel. It's literally right down the street, around the corner, no big deal. I was like, sure, I'll go. Well, me and my other niece, who's 3 years younger than me, she know I don't have no driver's license too. So she's just being young and dumb and stupid and following her aunt, who's ain't but 3 years older than her. We get in the car and we're excited. I'm driving down Northside Drive because I live the opposite way on Northside Drive. And I decide, well, shoot, I got to turn around. And I didn't feel like going up to the light to turn around. So I bang a U-turn on Northside Drive. Why did I do that? Soon as I make that U-turn, here come the blue lights and the siren. I said, oh, Jesus, we're going to jail. I'm freaking out. I'm like, we're going to jail. We're going to jail. I was like, I don't have a driver's license. My niece starts panicking, hyperventilating. I thought the girl was going to throw up. I was like, I need you to calm down. So we pull over. Police pulls us over. He's like, license and registration, please. And I'm giving him this look like I'm going to jail. I said, officer, I said, I have identification, but I don't have a driver's license. And he looks at me and he's looking in the car. Mind you, we driving a Ford Taurus station wagon. Okay. So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It was my mama's car. He's looking at me and he goes, there's a moral to the story. And the reason why I'm telling it, the differences in how police today. So immediately I start crying because I know I'm in trouble. I know I've broken the law and I am in trouble and I'm supposed to go to jail. So I start crying. He's like, how old are you? I'm 18. I was like, sorry, I'm a freshman over at Spelman College. And I'm because he's like, these are out-of-state tags. Whose car is this? I was like, it's my mama's car. I'm from New York. And I had my niece in the car. And I said, we see all the people at the Georgia Dome. It's the Jesus conference because, we love Jesus and stuff. And my sister, my big sister, she like way, way older than me. And she got all these kids and the baby is sick and she cold. And she just told me to go get the story morphed from go get the sweater to I got to get the sweater and her medicine. Because if I don't get her medicine, she gonna pass out and die. I mean, the story just took on a life of its own, you guys. This officer stood there and lectured me and let into me. I promise y'all, I felt like it was hours. And it was like 30 minutes. This man told me of how stupid I was, how unwise it was, how dangerous it was, how disappointed my mama would be, how Spelman women don't act like this. You just out, you joyriding, ain't you? I mean, he let into me like he was my daddy and he just piled it on and it made it worse. I started crying and I started crying and snotting so hard, y'all, I thought I was going to throw up. My niece Shannon she going in. I'm going in. He was like, get out the car. I was like, no, I can't go to jail. He was like, get out the car. He makes me get out the car, puts me in the back of his squad car. And he made me sit there for another 30 minutes. Y'all, it's hot. It's summer. It's like August. I'm sweating. I probably done lost about 5 pounds. I'm crying so hard. Y'all know the hard cry where you can't get your words out anymore because you doing. That's how bad it was. He let me sit there for 30 minutes. Finally, he comes back and he goes, "Do you know what I'm supposed to do in this circumstance?" And I'm like, "No, sir." He said, "I'm supposed to impound this car and I'm supposed to take you to jail." My whole life flashed before my eyes because my sister has driven down here from New York with all her kids. I'm like, how's she gonna get back? My mama gonna be like, where's my car? How I'm gonna get my it was just a disaster. He's like, "That's what I'm supposed to do." And he said, "But you know what?" He said, "You strike me as somebody that's being real stupid right now. But your story sounds plausible because I do know that there is a youth conference going on at the Georgia Dome right now. And you made that U-turn on Northside Drive. I see based on your student ID and where you say you live, you literally do live right around the corner and down the street. Why are you in this car with no license?" And I explained to him, being from New York, my sister assumed that I had a driver's license and I didn't think it was going to be a big deal because it's just down the street, right on the corner. I said, we was literally going there and coming back. He goes, "I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do." He said, "Because I'm supposed to take you to jail." He just kept reminding me about the jail. I was like, "God, I can't go to jail. I can't." I was about maybe a buck, I was maybe 105 pounds. I was like, I can't go to jail. He goes, "Here's what I'm going to do. You have 30 days to get a driver's license. Here is your court date." He said, "You better show up to court because I'm going to be there." And he said, "If you come to court with your driver's license, I will tell the judge to drop these charges." He said, "If you don't show up or you show up to court with an excuse as to why you still don't have a driver's license, it's going to be a whole problem." I was like, I promise I get my driver's license." Let me tell y'all something. I had my driver's license in a week. I was working at the JW Marriott at the time. I told my manager, I said, "Listen, I need you to take me to get my driver's test or I'm going to go to jail." She was like, "What?" I was like, "Look, I'll explain, but this is an emergency. And this is how I got my driver's license, okay? Here's the point. This police officer, they're missing these opportunities. It is obvious these young people ain't got good sense. And to me, this stems more from how these young people were raised. This girl doesn't even understand what the problem is as to why her shorts and everybody else's shorts are not the same kind of shorts. She does not understand the immodest apparel, the inappropriate nature of the fact that you don't wear underclothes as outer garments. And why are you in an airport with a bathrobe on? Is there a shower stall that you're rushing to get to? No. So, lady, what are we doing here? This officer, in my opinion, I know that was a long story. We're going to get back to the video. The officers that I've noticed, they're so weak and afraid of being offensive that they are missing out on key opportunities to really, not all officers, I'm talking about this one, to really make a difference in it. That officer still, y'all, I'm still scared of him to this day. If I saw him, I'm probably going to start crying. He put the fear of God in me. That man was going to haul me off to jail, impound my mama's car. He started telling me of how expensive it was going to cost, where she was going to have to go to pick it up. And in my mind, I was like, one wrong move has created this snowball of other situations and circumstances that I don't even know how I'm going to be able to get out of. Police officers, believe it or not, know it is not their job to parent, but they are a figure of authority. And they can use and wield their authority in such a way that it really can make a difference. And I know I'm not the only one that has a story about a police officer, even in a bad situation, how the officer changed their life because they just took the time to just speak to the reality of the situation and to speak some wisdom. Like, this young girl needed wisdom because now the tears are about to start flowing. And placating her, and I understand she already acting a fool and she's showing out, and these are the types that sometimes you got to put them down with a taser because they rabid. But he still could have, there's more than one way to de-escalate a situation. I know she's on 10, and some people might say, well, maybe he didn't want to trigger her a little more. I would have used it as an opportunity to be like, you know what, this gonna be the last time you leave the house in a bathrobe, isn't it? Do you know why it's gonna be your last time? Because this is inappropriate. This is inappropriate clothing selection for anywhere, especially an airline. And they're not obligated to let you get on. And here's why your shorts don't look like their shorts, right? Like, turn around and let's examine the difference here, lady. Listen, law enforcement has gotten really, really soft these days. And I hate, to me, it's toxic empathy when a police officer has to be like, well, you know, I'm really not trying to take sides, but this is their house and it's their rules. No, you are law enforcement. You should have like, ma'am, it's a crime, basically, essentially, how you done left this house. And I understand why Spirit Airlines is telling you why you can't get on. The question that you need to answer for yourself is, why did you think it was okay to leave the house this way? And how is it that you didn't understand that what you had on would probably prohibit you from boarding an aircraft, right? Like,